Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying attention to the NFL landscape, especially within the AFC North, you already know that this division is as competitive as ever. The Ravens, Bengals, Browns, and of course the Steelers are all fighting tooth and nail to claim supremacy. But what's happening right now with the Pittsburgh Steelers roster could be a game changer. And no, I'm not talking about just any random move. We're talking about a situation involving one of the most iconic and influential players on the team, Cameron Heyward. That's right, the veteran defensive lineman, who has been the backbone of the Steelers' defense for years, is at the center of a contract saga that could reshape the team's future. So let's set the scene here. Cameron Heyward, at 36 years old, is one of those players who, despite the advancing age, has continued to produce at an elite level. Last season, at 35, he arguably had one of the best campaigns of his career, defying the typical decline we often see with players his age. He's been a leader, a relentless force on the defensive line, and a player that Steelers fans have looked up to for his consistency, his work ethic, and his passion for the game. But as we all know, NFL teams are business first and foremost, and the business side of things is where this story gets really interesting. Cameron approached the Steelers in February about a new contract. It's not unusual for players of his caliber to seek new deals or renegotiate, especially when they're still performing at a high level. But the real twist came when, in August, the contract negotiations became a major storyline around the team. Hayward publicly addressed the situation this past Monday, making it clear that he's not just interested in a pay bump, but that he's prepared to hold out if necessary to get the value he believes he deserves. And honestly, that kind of stance from a veteran like Hayward isn't just about money. It's about respect, acknowledgement of his contribution, and his desire to finish his career on his own terms. Now, if you've been following the Steelers' roster and salary cap situation, you know that they've already made some tough decisions recently, including asking Hayward to take a pay cut last season so he could stay with the team in 2024. And he accepted it, showing his loyalty and willingness to do his part. But he also received an extension worth $29 million over 2 seasons. That's no small amount, especially considering his cap hit for 2025 will be nearly $65 million, with only a base salary of $13 million. So, it's understandable that Hayward is feeling like he's earned a bit more recognition, both financially and in terms of his role on this team. And here's the kicker, Hayward didn't just accept a pay cut and extension and then coast. No, sir. He's been performing at a level that's made many analysts and fans think he's still got plenty of prime football left in him. In fact, he said publicly that he's looking for his contract to be addressed because, in his words, he's ranked only 22nd among defensive tackles and 36th among defensive linemen at his age. That's a pretty stark reminder of how the NFL views age and production, but Hayward's own words show a different story. He's confident in what he brings to the Steelers, both on and off the field. What makes this situation even more intriguing is Hayward's candid honesty about his performance and future. He mentioned that after the stellar year he had, he believed he'd be rewarded with a new deal or at least a fair evaluation of his worth. Remember, he said, "When I have an all-pro year, I expect to be compensated accordingly." That's a bold statement coming from someone who, at 36, is still playing at a level that many younger players would envy. It's also a testament to his professionalism and his desire to finish his career with a sense of accomplishment and respect. Of course, the Steelers' front office, led by Mike Tomlin and defensive coordinator Terrell Austin, have expressed confidence that Hayward will be ready for the regular season. But as we all know, the situation is not just about readiness. It's about negotiations, patience, and sometimes tough choices. Hayward has made it clear he's prepared to sit out games if he doesn't get the contract value he's seeking. That's a serious stance from a veteran who's been a core part of this team's defense for years. It puts the Steelers' management in a tricky spot. Do they pay him what he's asking for, or do they stand firm with their plans? Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. The Steelers are in a unique position here. They have a team that's competitive, with a strong defense that relies heavily on players like Hayward. They also have a young core developing on offense and defense, but the veteran leadership on the defensive line is irreplaceable. Hayward's experience, leadership, and on-field production are critical to the Steelers' identity. Losing him or not having him at full capacity could potentially weaken their front, which has historically been one of their strongest units. And this situation isn't just about one player. It's about the message it sends to the rest of the roster. When a player of Hayward's caliber feels underappreciated or undervalued, it can influence team chemistry and morale. Conversely, if the Steelers decide to meet his demands, it could set a precedent for other veterans looking to cash in on their contributions. It's a delicate balancing act, and it's happening right now in Pittsburgh. But what's next? Well, there's still a lot of uncertainty. The Steelers could reach an agreement before the season starts, or we might see Hayward sit out games if negotiations stall. Either way, this saga highlights the ongoing challenges NFL teams face when managing veteran contracts, cap space, and player loyalty. For Steelers fans, it's a story that touches the core of what makes this team special. Its history of valuing loyalty and hard work, but also the harsh realities of NFL business. And let's not forget, Cameron Hayward's career isn't just about this contract story. He's been a symbol of resilience and excellence. His leadership in the locker room extends beyond just his stats. He's a mentor to younger players, a role model in the community, and a player who embodies the Steelers' gritty, hardworking ethos. The question now is whether this contract dispute will overshadow his legacy or whether it will be resolved in a way that respects his contributions and allows him to finish his career on his own terms. In the end, the Steelers are at a crossroads. They could choose to prioritize the veteran's value and give him what he's asking for, or they could stand firm, betting on their roster's depth and young talent. Either way, the outcome of this situation will have ripple effects beyond just one player. It will influence the team's morale, their cap management, and potentially their performance on the field. So, as Steelers fans, what do you think about this whole situation? Are you confident that the organization will come around and give Hayward the deal he deserves? Or do you think this could be a sign of some impending challenges for the team's defense? Either way, it's a story that's worth keeping a close eye on as we approach the regular season. The Steelers have always been known for their resilience, their tough mindset, and their ability to overcome adversity. And right now, this contract saga is just another chapter in that story. We'll see how it unfolds, but one thing is for sure, the passion and loyalty of Steelers fans will be just as strong as ever, no matter what. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Looking ahead, the Steelers are preparing for a season that could be one of their most exciting in recent memory. With the core still intact and new faces possibly emerging, the team is optimistic about contending in the AFC North and making a deep playoff run. But all eyes are on Cameron Heyward right now. His situation could very well be the defining storyline of Pittsburgh's offseason. If they can come to an agreement, it sends a clear message. The Steelers value their veterans, their leadership, and the contributions of players who have given so much to the franchise. If not, it might signal a shift, a new chapter where younger players step up and fill the void. Either way, fans should stay tuned because the coming weeks will be crucial. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you believe the team will come through and give Hayward the extension he's seeking? Or do you think this struggle might lead to a different outcome, perhaps even a player sitting out? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Steelers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news. This team has a legacy of resilience, and whatever happens next, it's going to be an exciting ride. Thanks for joining me today, and as always, let's keep that Steelers spirit alive.